Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is MiniatureNerd, and welcome back to Civilization 6. Last time, we set up our fourth city, the Great Northern Expansion, up to Aquileia over there. And today, the Great Exploration begins, because I've sent a scout over to kind of this side of the map to figure out what's going on over here. The game is saying this is part of the same continent I'm on right now, but I don't really see how they're connected, so I'm going to try and figure that out today, as well as sending more scouts down to the south here to figure out what's going on south of London and America, who are almost certainly really unhappy with each other right now. I've got good relations with both of these guys, but as you can see from the bit of the mishmash of cities, they are definitely not getting on that well with each other, so we'll have to see about that, because I suspect they're going to end up going to war sooner or later. But we're not worried about that today, at least for the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Instead, we are worried about making sure our new city Aquileia is set up correctly, while also figuring out what's going on in the world. So let's just figure out what exactly is this big spur of land up here. I'm genuinely not sure, just kind of keep exploring. What exactly is this place? Like huge amounts of rock, some horses. I mean, this feels like an island to me. I mean, if it's an island, is it still part of the same continent? I thought like a different landmass counts as a different continent, but maybe not. Meanwhile, as for my scout can unfortunately cut by these workers because I've got no trouble whatsoever. Ooh, hello! Hello, Norway scout. Ah, is this where Norway is? This isn't going to go down well. Victoria's not keen on people from other continents, to be honest. She's keen on people on her continent. And as for America, they just want peace on this continent. So I imagine other people just showing up and talking about raiding the coast isn't going to go down well with old Teddy either. I tell you what, we've got this here marsh that as far as I can tell doesn't really do much. If I get rid of it, that actually yields instant food. Right now Rome is 14 turns away from growing. If I just remove that now, what does that do? That goes, ooh, straight over to flipping 8 turns. That's nice. So that was pretty good right there. You've still got 2 builds on you as well. And if I were to... Is there any way to get you to have 3 farms next to each other? Because I'd like to have 3 farms next to each other because then the feudalism effect kicks in. So if I make this a farm... And then, well, if we expand in this direction, we actually, the expansion seems to have slowed quite a bit. Like, it's been quite a while since Ravenna, well, I think, unfortunately, Ravenna's kind of grown into the sea. I don't want Ravenna to go into the sea, I want Ravenna to go down here, because right now I can't really afford the tiles, but never mind. Okay, so this little spur of land over here is potentially much larger than I was anticipating. There's quite a lot of stuff over here, including potentially a good site for an offshore colony. And if this is technically the same continent as we're on right now, which the game says it is, then that would, presumably, not actually annoy Victoria, who doesn't seem to like people heading overseas for the most part. Now, Aquileia is going to have a new person in just 3 turns. That works for me. Once that second person is up, I'm probably going to want them to, well... I could have them focus on... No, we're probably going to want to have that second person also focusing on growth as quickly as possible. So let's move you over here and build a second farm immediately. Yep, farm and farm is definitely the right thing to do. That's the safe option right there. This warrior is, yeah, this warrior is back up to strength. I'd say let's go and take out this encampment down here, which I think has been causing Hattusa some trouble. Hattusa's got warriors, so these guys shouldn't be out of control yet. They should be fine. Yeah, Hattusa's got flipping spearmen. So if we just go down there and clear out that encampment so we're safe, we might go and take out that encampment too later, but equally, I wouldn't mind a few barbarians floating around if they're going to cause trouble for Athens, but equally that camp's probably a little bit too close for my liking. They might decide to come for me, and Aquileia is not exactly well defended right now. Probably best we take out both these camps. And the Renaissance era has begun for me. And medieval fairs are also flipping done as well. Marvellous. A whole bunch of stuff just finished simultaneously. Ah, now... This one's more interesting. The Forbidden City, or rather printing, just finished up, and that means that I get myself the Forbidden City. This is very, very expensive, but wildcard policy slots, +5 culture, that's very, very good indeed. But more importantly, I've also got all tourism yields from Great Works of Writing doubled, and I've got a flipping ton of Great Works of Writing. My tourism has literally just doubled up to 46 pretty much. That is magnificently good news. That surely put me first place for a culture victory at the moment, at least. Nicely done indeed. And I gain one more level of diplomatic visibility on all civilizations, which means I can see everyone else's secret agendas, which is great news. Forbidden City I do need to build at some point, and sadly I can't skip straight into the industrial era right now. Though actually, it's not even that bloody far away. Actually, it probably is, because I'd need to do a lot of military technology just to kind of open up the route here. Yeah, I'd need to do construction, to get to castles, to get to siege tactics, in order to get to military science. So that's going to be a fair way off yet. Instead, probably best to turn our focus back to science for a moment, because we've got education over here. I could get pikemen going on, but in all fairness, pikemen are barely any stronger than my legionaries, so I feel for the moment we don't even need those. We could actually skip them, to be honest, entirely, because we could just go from legionaries straight over into musketmen. Because I feel, yeah, the legionaries are 40 and these are strength 41. So I feel like we're probably good enough. Like, these have got the advantage against horses, sure, but I don't feel like we've got a major war against horsemen coming in anytime soon. Let's just go for education instead. Lovely. Now, I could boost that if I could get myself a great scientist. How's my science doing? Actually, that might even flipping work, to be honest. My science is coming along quite nicely. So potentially, I might actually be able to get a great scientist before that's done. In which case, yeah, we'll be able to speed that up by a few turns. Lovely. Rome, meanwhile, can finish off this scout that's straight into my territory and hopefully do a great big... yes, he did do the lovely little flip there. I like the little acrobatic flip. Colosseum is rising up nicely, done in 4 turns. Very, very good indeed. In fact, actually, you know what? Rome's probably just the city of wonders. We're probably going to be wanting to build, yeah, that wonder in Rome on this spot right here, to be honest. So we might well be doing that in time as well. Now we've got... we have got ourselves one new trader has just shown up and... Wait, what? Oh, suddenly flipping Athens and Knossos are available, are they? Is that what happened? Why is that suddenly available? Has this city up here extended the trade route? Or something? I'm genuinely not sure. Well, I tell you what, it will be faster. Though actually, admittedly, Athens is worth like the most money out of literally everyone. Athens is apparently rich. I don't know how Athens is rich, but apparently Athens is rich. No, I don't want to do that, because that will take you an absolute flipping age. Because if I go over to here, sending you over to Athens is going to take 27 turns. But if I transfer you up to Aquileia, then that will actually mean you can do that trip much faster, because this road already exists, so we don't need you to do that. So, I want you to transfer to Aquileia, you teleport there. Admittedly, you're not going to get a turn till next turn, but once you do, then yeah, that will save us a lot of time, so that's 100% fine. Then we've got, ooh, hello! We've got flipping barbarians with battering rams here. Well, I could win a decisive victory against them. And yeah, sure, why not? We'll take out your battering ram, I guess. Yeah, take out the battering ram. Screw you. Batter the other guy with a stick too. Minus 23. Ooh, I took more damage than I actually dealt there. I probably shouldn't have done that thing I just did, but never mind. Meanwhile, down in the south, this guy just keeps having an explore and seeing what he can find. And I think we found, yeah, the southern tip of this continent pretty much. England hasn't given me the rights to access their territory. I don't have open borders with them. But I can be fairly confident that that there is the extent of Plymouth. So what I probably want to do now instead is loop back up around, go through American territory to explore what's going on over here. Because I feel like, well, there might be a little bit more down here, but I think this is the edge of the continent. Well, I say this, but this might actually not be the edge of the continent. This might be leading round to... This might be how this is connected to us. I don't know, possibly. Also, ooh, civic as well. Now, the good civic is available to us, in fact. The civic of exploration, which even though we haven't boosted, we're unlocking really fast. And this is, oh, all pastures for +1 food. I mean, it's kind of worth it just for that in 9 turns. Merchant Republic is also a vastly superior form of government, so that is well worth having. And once that is done, we can start thinking about humanism as well, to get all the different types of art museums, archaeological museums, invention for great engineer points, and frescoes for great artist points. Though admittedly, we don't actually have any slots for great works of art yet, but that's fine because very soon we can have flipping art museums, presumably quite a small art museum. If we can literally only fit 3 great works of art, does that mean, like, I don't know, there's only 3 good rooms, the rest of the rooms are terrible, we just put the bad art up in there? Who knows? Anyway, let's do exploration first, because that is a new form of government I most definitely want to be getting my hands on. Yes. Ravenna could also build the Forbidden City, but it would take it 70 turns. So we probably shouldn't do that right here, no. We do have the industrial zone available to us, but yeah, that's basically just creating additional production off the basis of nearby mines. Honestly, that doesn't actually feel that useful to me right now. Like, if you've got a big mining city, sure, that'd be great. But, like, I don't have a great mining city right now. Like, all I can get off that district is basically +1 production from being next to a mine or a quarry. Actually, is there a better spot up here for... Ooh. What I'd want is eventually I will put an industrial zone here between a quarry and a mine. And then that will get loads of bonus production. So Aquila will one day be quite powerful in the production terms. Because, yeah, we've got this spot right here that can have a lumber mill. That will be a 1 and a 4. That will become a 1 and a 4 because you'll get the bonus from being next to the river. We'll have, yeah, we'll have the camp set up over here. Oh, yeah, Aquila one day is going to be quite a powerful city, I think. You know what, very quickly, I'm just going to get another scout going on. I want another scout heading over the sea, figuring out what we can find out there. And this worker, who I actually sent down south to help out with Rome, he can just march straight up back north to help out Aquileia again. Because, yeah, I feel like his 2 remaining builds would be much better spent up here, to be honest. Now, we should just be able to run in and, yeah, finish off that bastard over there. Though, admittedly, we will take a massive amount of damage to do so. Though, actually, we might get a level up out of it. Yeah, go for it. Run in there. Murder that guy. We'll take a load of damage in return. But, yeah, we've taken flipping... What the heck is going on over here? Right, barbarian catapults are apparently a thing that exist in this area. Together with barbarians, yeah. The barbarians over here have got a little bit on the advanced side. This is all a little bit worrying. Our troops continue to move towards that encampment. Looks like Hattusa's already been fighting the barbarians back. I think they've beaten all the warriors that have spawned, but haven't actually been able to destroy the encampment yet. So that kind of works for me. I'm also just going to get a quadrireme built here from Ravenna, just so we've got something a bit more bulky that can explore the seas without worrying about running into pirates. That thing can basically just kind of tag around the coast and figure out what it can find. Also, apparently we've got a new envoy. Lovely. Now, what does that mean for you guys over here in Hattusa? Again, still the only other bloody guy we've run into. Well, if we kind of push all of our envoys over to Hattusa, then that means we'll get ourselves +2 signs. So that's basically +4 signs. I'm trading 3 envoys for +4 signs. I'm going to hold off for now, because actually I don't think I can... I'm not sure I'm even allowed. Am I allowed? Yes, actually you are. You're allowed to, once you've clicked on that, you can just back off and save them for later. So I know they're just chilling out at home on their own, so that's 100% fine. Because what I'm thinking about is... presumably, Washington is trading, given they've got a road going over here, with some form of city-state. Potentially, they might have good bonuses I want to just kind of shovel some envoys at. And, of course, the trade unit I sent up to Aquila is ready to go, and that guy can now trade with Athens for gold and faith. The faith is useless to us, of course, and London would be more productive, but don't worry about that for now. Ooh, Washington would be even better. Washington would be great. But let's get a road built to Athens, which is apparently only going to take 9 turns to do. So go to Athens. Lovely. Build us a road heading north. That means there will be a single unbroken road linking Athens in the north all the way down to London in the south. Oh, that's beautiful. I like that. And better, our guys have decided to freely expand over to those horses. Good. Build yourself a pasture right there, which will also be worth, yeah, more production as well as everything else. And that brings even more horses into the empire. How are you guys doing, by the way? I assume, yes, you've decided to work those horses immediately. That all works for me. It looks like, actually, let's take that off. You've decided to still work that tile anyway. Yeah, looks to me like, well... I think I can understand why Cumai is growing well. Just a ridiculously large amount of farming, particularly around the kind of the northwest of the city there, is doing a marvellously good job. Oh dear, I may have picked the wrong fight over... Yep! Would you believe I picked the wrong fight against the barbarians on this island? They've just gone and straight up murdered me. So, we know there's something going on this island, we just don't know exactly what it flipping is. My troops can't cross the ocean yet. I don't think I actually went for that technology. No, I need cartography before I can cross the ocean tiles. So for the moment, this scout is basically stuck just going around the shallows. So I'm going to very quickly head around here just to make absolutely double sure there's nothing interesting going on here before I try and find somewhere else to send him. Oh yeah, I don't want to say that Britain and America are close to war here, but I can't help but notice that Britain has decided to put a few warriors close by to the American border of Philadelphia. Meanwhile, over in Philadelphia itself, they have decided to guard their territory by actually, they've built walls, they've got flipping chariots floating around here. Oh yeah, this war is not too far off. Teddy Roosevelt has actually flipping denounced Victoria. Oh, blimey. Okay, yeah, they're going to be at war soon. So, we know about his big stick policy. He likes peaceful civilizations on his home continent. Apart from Victoria, he hates her. And he likes environmentalists, builds national parks, doesn't clear forests, plants forest. Likes civilizations that plant forests or found national parks. I don't know how to plant a forest. How do you do that? I'd do that if I had the option to. I'd love planting a... Well, actually, I'd like to clear a jungle, then plant a forest in its place, because then I could have that, like, all along my rivers and have ridiculously productive lumber mills. That'd be marvellous. So he dislikes civilizations that clear features. Well, I don't clear features much. I think I've cleared, like, one swamp or something, so that's not too bad at all. So, we can presumably now see... Yes, we can see what's going on with you. Last Viking king, he builds a large navy and respects civilizations who do the same. Fine. And he's cultured, tries to build up culture like civilizations. Okay, so he's going to like me a little bit for doing that. Pericles, dealing league we already know about. Air power, tries to build up air power. He's in the flipping ancient era. I'd like to think at some point he's actually going to message me saying that my air force looks a little bit flimsy and he hopes that I'll consider building it up more. And finally, Victoria, who has got... Oh, she's got flipping... Oh, no, sorry, she's just got two. It's just it doesn't quite fit on one line. She likes civilizations who are not competing for great people and will recruit great people whenever possible. Dislikes losing a great person to another civilization. Got it. Okay, and again, oh... And she's also denounced him. Yeah, we should definitely start building an army down in the south. Because if we get pulled into this fight, then it's not impossible that London's going to decide to attack us as well if we decide to go in to help the Americans. But I feel like just looking at this down here, America feels like it's got the edge. If they've got heavy chariots and Britain's just got basic warriors floating around, I've got to say that America's got the advantage. I feel like when that war begins, America's just going to basically overrun Plymouth immediately. Britain's going to lose a large part of its army, because Britain's army is very much made up of, like, basic crappy warriors. They seem to have fallen behind technologically. So, Cincinnati might be in trouble. New York should be able to defend itself. I think Newcastle and Plymouth will both fall. Yeah, I think America's got that war if it happens. So, we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, we should definitely start building some forces over here in Ravenna to potentially go and assist America. Oh no, 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 that's not fair. That's not fair. Oh no, did someone beat me to the flipping... That player has finished building the World Wonder Coliseum. Oh, you bastards. You absolute utter bastards. Do I not get anything back for that? You used to get compensated for that back in the day in Civ 5. Oh no. Oh, that's such bad news. And like, oh. Darn it. Okay, some people are a little bit more advanced than I was giving them credit for. I would not have expected anyone to be capable of beating me to the Colosseum. That's such a shame. That would have been such a good bonus for Ravenna and for Cumae. Right, so with no flipping compensation in hand, tragically, I guess that just means, it was just really close as well. It was just like a few turns off. Just a few bloody turns off. Well, darn it. Okay. Don't worry about that. Get working on the Forbidden City. Okay, that's going to take 36 turns to do, but it's worth it. Actually, if I put it here, that would give a tiny bit of a culture bonus to this district. Yeah, even though that takes out one jungle, I'm only losing like half a science. I'd say that's worth it. Losing half a science for +1 culture is a fair sacrifice, I'd say. So let's build this over here so that the theatre district is just flipping surrounded by bloody wonders. Yeah, get on that. Lovely. So there we are. That's the beginning of the Forbidden City, which is actually, that's quite nice. So we've got Rome here, the Eternal City on one side of the river. And then like you cross the river and you get to the Forbidden City. So like that seems somehow nice and foreboding. I like that a lot. Someone else just built Petra as well. Okay, we need to focus on the Renaissance era wonders. We've got the advantage there because I'm not sure many other people, in fact, I'm not sure anyone's made it into Renaissance yet. So, we'll get an advantage there. Focus on the Forbidden City. We'll get that first, at least. But yeah, people are catching up with us, unfortunately. Increased trade route capacity. Marvellous. That is good news. And we've got some ships that have floated nearby as well. Just start peppering those ships, please. Lovely. Meanwhile, you head over to... Apparently, you can't quite make it over to here. That might be on a hill or something. Ooh. Apparently, that place has just been spawning flipping barbarian ships are like crazy. Right, we need to potentially stay away from that then. Just take out the encampment, maybe retreat, go and take out this instead. Ah, and Cumai is done with its harbour district, I think. Marvellous. That took you a long time for a little wharf with a tiny crappy hut on top. I feel like we did not get good value out of that. So now that we've actually got a harbour and a seafront, we could theoretically start thinking about some wonders going on here. Oh my goodness, look at the money. The money is just jumping up like crazy. I like that. Plus 16.2 a turn. That's very, very nice. So we could go for a basic lighthouse. +1. Ooh, +1 food, +1 gold. +1 housing, +1 citizen slot, +1 great admiral point per turn. That's pretty nice. We've got the commercial hub here, so we could go for a market. That's just more money and more great person points per turn. Again, that's pretty fast. Or we could start thinking about more wonders. Mysteriously, just no one's gone for the Great Lighthouse. So that's +1 movement for all naval units forever. I mean, that's pretty darn good. Plus, it generates gold and Great Admiral points. So it's like, it's better than a market. Colossus is potentially a little bit more interesting. I'd like to build a Colossus right here. That must be on a coast, adjacent to land, and a harbour district. So logically, I'd build that to the north of the harbour right there. So must be built, yeah, cannot be built on a lake, must be built on the coast. That is a coast tile right there, isn't it? Yeah, that's a coast tile. I feel like Cumai building the Colossus. I mean, if no one else wants it, it's just flipping extra trade route. It's an extra trade route, it's extra money, and it's Great Admiral points. I don't see why we wouldn't build that. So let's spend, 170. Well, we've got money coming in, it's fine. Yes, one Colossus right here. Why can't the Great Lighthouse go there? The Great Lighthouse needs to be... Oh, it needs a lighthouse to be built. Okay, so it could have been built there, but it needs a lighthouse. And when I do get around to building that, it will need to be on this square, which will unfortunately get rid of the fish, I think, which will cost us a tiny bit of money, but never mind. In all fairness, we don't really need the fish. Like, we've got plenty of money and food production in Cumai. I really feel like we don't necessarily need those fish right there. Yeah, let's get a Colossus going on here. Get on that. Lovely. And, oh, that's going to be gorgeous. No one better beat me to that. I'm going to be so annoyed if anyone beats me to that. In fact, Cumai does not need to grow as fast as it's growing right now. I'm going to respec it as far as I can towards... When I say I'm going to respec it towards production, I basically can't. Cumai doesn't really do production. That's not its job. I can squeeze, like, the tiniest bit more of production out of Cumai. Like, the tiniest bit more by moving over here. No, I want that one as well. No, I want that... I blatantly want the production game. Oh, for goodness sake. There we go. Oh, the ships are coming in to pelt me a little bit. Yeah, this will be unfortunately what went wrong with all of those Hattusa ships. The ships are just coming in to really attack me hard. Well, that's fine. All I need to do is get in here and then basically run for it. And then that is... Oh, because that was a marsh. I now can't get anywhere. Well, you might be about to die, potentially. I'm sorry if so. I mean, I'll just give that guy an attack while I'm passing by. Just kind of keep peppering him with arrows. I won't do much damage. Archers don't seem desperately efficient against these guys, but might get some XP at least. Ah, and my trade route is back. Oh, now this is interesting. So my trader has returned to Rome. My trader's returned to Rome, and I've got an idea here. Oh, wait, no, that's not how it works. No, that's not how it works. That's backwards. This is what Rome is gaining for production from districts in Cumai. Okay, so I don't actually... What I need to do if I want to have extra production in Cumai is I'd need to send this guy to Cumai, and then I'd need to trade with Rome for 7 turns. Alternatively, what else can I do here? I could... Ooh... Yeah, Athens would make a ton of money, but it would take bloody ages to have them. Admittedly, that's not bad, because that means like every turn. So for 22 turns, me getting 7 gold a turn off Athens is not the worst thing in the world at all. London is looking increasingly less interesting. London and Newcastle, I could trade with Newcastle, that's over there, don't you worry about that. Yeah, I'm going to transfer this guy to Cumai, and I'm going to use him to get some bonus production for Cumai to speed up the Colossus, because 19 turns seems a little bit slow to me. Meanwhile, I've got myself, yes, 1 quadrireme, which is nice. So the quadrireme, which can go quite fast, is going to head over in this direction, and it's just going to explore up here. Meanwhile, this other scout I've trained, I think, can find... Darn it, he can't quite make it over there. That's a shame. I can see the shallow water right there, but he can't quite make it over to it. Yeah, this is why I want the quadrireme. It can explore the coast faster. As for Ravenna, let's just get some legions in production. I feel like, actually, do we want legions or do we potentially want to start thinking about a real district? Oh, it's going to take 18 turns to do an encampment. I mean, what does an encampment even allow me to do here? That just gives me, like, some bonus to... Yeah, it gives me, like, some defensive bonuses, which are okay, but I can do without. But that's 18 turns. I feel like that's a little bit on the slow side. Yeah, let's just get like a second group of legionaries. If I've got 2 legionaries and I've got city walls at Ravenna, I feel at least moderately safe against London for now. Actually, I tell you what, maybe we can try and calm down this whole situation by proposing an alliance for... I don't need to propose an alliance. Fine, an alliance with America. I'm happy to accept this deal. Would you potentially be willing to pay for this alliance? Would you be willing to offer me... You can't accept that. Fine. Get rid of that. Hang on. No, never mind. If I'm in an alliance with the US, that means presumably England, will be less likely to go to war because they'd be outnumbered. I'm happy to accept this deal. Accept. We are now allies. Nice. And as a result of being allied, now we gain all sorts of information about him. Like, we know, like, exactly what he's done. We know about, like, his city-states he's influencing, the civics completed, technologies researched, settlers trained. Sadly, we don't know about his weapons of mass destruction, but as he's currently in the medieval era, I imagine he hasn't got any yet. And apparently that has given me a bit of a eureka moment. Having kind of formed an alliance is, for the diplomatic service, a big boost. Beautiful. And I suspect my old warriors are... No, my warriors just survived that, but they're in a lot of trouble. They need to get out of there very, very quickly. My archers, meanwhile, can take a shot at this boat. May as well. Now, this trader right here... Ooh, that could go literally anywhere. Ah, this is a shame. Yeah, it's actually generating fairly small amounts of flipping production, which is a shame. It would actually get more production from going to deal with Philadelphia, which I don't think we've actually currently got a road to. We've got a road down to Washington. We don't have one to Philadelphia. Or we could get a +2 production and +4 gold for going down to London. That would not be the worst thing for Cumai, because that would actually put a road through New York down to London. Right now we don't have a road going in that direction. Cincinnati is nothing but that. Yeah, let's get 2 production from London in that case. Why not? And we get bonus gold for passing through my trade post on the way. Wait, what trade post? Another trade post on the way? Do I? I don't think so. Oh, well, never mind. Let's just send it anyway. Lovely. So London receives no benefits. Cumai receives +2 production. Begin the route. That should give Cumai a bit of a boost for producing the Colossus. Rome could also do with a little bit more production, to be honest. Rome, how are you doing? You doing okay? I mean, you've already got that lovely big production facility there. Have you got anything else that's production-y? I mean, alternatively, I could start seeing if clearing would do any benefits. Sometimes clearing makes a surprising amount of difference. Like, if I clear the rainforest, does that represent bonus production? Might do, you know. I'm genuinely not sure. Right, go over here. That's the end of your turn, isn't it? Yes, that's the end of your turn. You step over into here, and that's going to be... You're both useless. Right, we'll see next turn what happens next, because I feel like, yeah, if actually tearing down a forest is worth production, getting ourselves a new builder just for the sake of tearing down a little bit of rainforest, even though it costs us a little bit of science, might not be the worst thing in the world, just for a big kind of jump in production speed. Yeah, if I strip a forest down, that's worth 77 production immediately. I don't want to do that, obviously, in this case, but it might be worth doing down in Rome. Okay, that's over to a 1 and a 4. That's pretty darn good right there. And this is going to be worth a... Oh, that's just +1 gold. That's not as good in that case, but still, worth having. Fortunately, these barbarian ships just seem to repeatedly just float around the edge of the coast here, so I can just kind of keep peppering them with fire. So sooner or later, we will wear them down, and if nothing else, we're getting the XP, which is quite nice. Right, let's just keep this here quadrireme moving around and seeing what we can figure out. Let's just launch a ranged attack on that bastard while we're passing by, because we can just kind of pepper him from... Oh, nice. We can just pepper the barbarians from the ship. Lovely. And apparently, that has boosted naval tradition, because we've murdered something with a ship. Marvellous. And as soon as the barbarians have finished their turn peppering the guys from Hattusa, oh yes, education is done, that's universities, and so is exploration. Now that's where life gets exciting, because of course we're changing over the government, you know what we're doing, Merchant Republic. Influence goes up to 5 per turn. Right now it's 3 per turn right now, and we earn 1 envoy at 100. Now it goes up to 5 a turn, and we're earning 2 envoys for every 150. Is that the same for all of them? Yeah, that's the same for all of them. So that means we get an additional 2 trade routes. We get a discount on gold purchase. And no offense, I actually do more gold purchase. Like a lot of people in Civ 5 say to me, oh, you shouldn't really buy stuff with gold. I actually quite like buying stuff with gold. And I think like if you've got the right setup for it, it's quite powerful. I think maybe it's a little bit more workable in Civ 6 than Civ 5. I feel like I've got like enough gold to be buying stuff with it. 1 military policy, 2 economics, 1 diplomatic, 2 wildcards, and once we've got the Forbidden Palace, that will be up to 3 wildcard policies. Now that there is worth doing. Yes, we are moving over to Merchant Republic. Beautiful. And that has apparently improved my knowledge of castles. Somehow. Not sure how, just is. So the legacy bonuses we've picked up are we still get plus 6% for being an oligarchy, and I assume that will last forever. 3% bonus great people points for being a classical republic, so that just kind of, builds over time. So I think those are permanent now, but because I wasn't a classical republic for that long, as a result that bonus is quite small. So if I left like Merchant Republic now, I'd basically get no legacy bonus, but like in 15 turns, every 15 turns I get plus 1% in terms of discount on gold production. Fine, so that's nice. But while I am a Merchant Republic, I get the full benefit anyway. So plus 2 trade routes, that's jumped up to flipping 5. Nice. I need to start working on some... In fact, actually, I need to get overseas. I need to get meeting people. That's what I need to do. I need to kind of meet some overseas empires and figure out what the heck we're going to be doing next. So yeah, we need to be getting out there, doing sea trade, all sorts of good sexy stuff, and the gold discounts. Obviously, we're going to bring feudal contracts straight in for our military policy, because I want to be able to train an army, and we need that to be a little bit on the cheaper side. That's good. Colonization. Not sure I need that just yet. Colonial officers, plus 15% faster growth for cities not on your original continent. Don't need that just yet, but that is actually pretty darn good, yes. I could get plus 2 gold from all trade routes. Don't need that yet, we don't have enough trade routes, but very soon we might well do, so worth thinking about right there. Plus 1 culture for every speciality district. I feel like we've got enough of those to bring meritocracy back in, yes indeed. And international trade routes. When it says international, does that mean not the same continent? Not sure. Conscription could get my costs down quite a lot, because that's basically, yeah, plus 1 gold for every single military unit on the field. So conscription could be pretty darn good. Alternatively, I could get... Oh, my theatre square district bonuses are probably pretty significant. That's probably not a bad thing to have at all. In fact, as we're not going to be building any settlers anytime soon, I'm going to bring that in, because my theatre square is probably generating quite a lot of good stuff. Serfdom is nice. That will get my builders up to 6 charges, but I don't feel like I need it imminently. I'll tell you what, let's get investing. Trade Confederation. We've just become a Merchant Republic. Let's get Trade Confederation in. That should give me immediately kind of plus 1 culture and science for the trade that I'm currently doing with London, and should hopefully become a lot more very, very quickly. Yeah. That's much better. And the feudal contract's the important one. Now I can get that one in nice and cheap, because now that one's in nice and cheap, that means we can actually start building up a decent modern army. Now, we've also got the universities now. The universities open up some really interesting stuff for us, because yes, universities open up mass production. What does mass production do? The shipyard. Presumably that lives inside a harbour, right? Yeah, that's presumably just like part of a harbour. So 25% bonus combat experience, great admiral points there, can do without that. Venetian arsenal, that's great engineer points. Okay, and that doesn't actually give me any bonuses at all. I tell you what, I think we've got to go for cartography. We need cartography purely because I flipping need to be able to embark over the ocean. The ocean's kind of getting in my way. We need to go and flipping explore, man. The alternative is astronomy. That gets me a unique wonder, plus 1 diplomatic policy. Diplomatic policy slot doesn't seem like the best. I feel like the best stuff lives in the economics, with some pretty darn good ones in military. I'd kind of put in terms of usefulness, yeah, I'd say that those are kind of probably the worst at the moment, so I don't need to worry about that right now. Yeah, I'm going to go instead for ignoring all of those and instead going for cartography, because I want to get over the ocean. Now, with exploration done... exploration's a bit of a dead end, to be honest. It doesn't do very much. I wouldn't mind going into humanism, because, yeah, getting the archaeological and the art museums, I just feel like I'm skipping ahead technologically right now, and that's good. Alternatively, if I go for guilds, guilds opens up the diplomatic service. So I can get guilds. Yeah, I can have guilds right now. That is the... plus culture for rainforest tiles built on a rainforest. Not bad at all. Craftsman, town charters, Travelling, ooh, merchant points. Divine right I'm not interested in, and I think like you need to go down kind of more of the like theology route for that anyway, so I'm not really interested in that, to be honest. In fact, someone is already on that route, because somebody built that wonder already. I'm sure I saw that being mentioned. But the diplomatic service allows resident embassies and grants ability to construct a spy. Okay, and we can also justify wars much more easily. So, Holy War, declare war on a power that's religiously converted one of your cities. Fine. Liberation War, declare war on a power that's captured a city from one of your friends or allies. Reconquest War, use to declare war on a power that's captured one of your cities, and no warmonger penalties apply. And Protectorate War, for one of your allied city-states. Okay. In all fairness, having a resident embassy so I've got permanent visibility of Washington strikes me as basically sensible. Plus, having spies strikes me as nice as well. So we could go for that. To go for that, we'll need to go guilds. Alternatively, yeah, we could skip forward to humanism, which kind of opens up merchanty options, which will give me some better ships. Nothing much, to be honest. But, ooh, +4 gold and +1 faith from every trade route. The gold would be nice. And then we go into, ooh, the Enlightenment. I like the Enlightenment. That sounds fundamentally good. Plus 100% science from all campus district buildings. Very, very good. Oh, yeah. This is nice. I like all of that stuff right there. Okay, let's go for guilds right now, because that wonder strikes me as good, and we can get that pretty darn quickly. Not in time to boost it. We're not going to be able to build 2 markets in the next 7 turns. But in all fairness, our culture is so high right now, we're building these very quickly already. And we've got a great person to claim, apparently. A great scientist. Ah, this is something that flipping Hattusa asked me to do. Probably a couple of millennia ago, but apparently they're still watching out for it. So, Galileo gained 250 science on standard speed for each adjacent mountain tile. What, you mean I literally take him over to a mountain and I use him there? Is that what you want me to do? Yeah, I'll recruit him. Sure, and that's got me towards the Enlightenment. There we are, 1 envoy with Hattusa. Let's just have a little look-see at Hattusa nice and quickly. So Hattusa, we should be at the moment at... I think we're at 4 with them. Hang on, no, go back to that. Hattusa, yeah, Hattusa's at 4 and we've got 3 available. Let's just flipping get them up to maximum. Just max out the science with them. Yeah, because 6 will get us +4 science immediately, I think. Lovely. So we're now maxed out with Hattusa. Very, very good. Now, the other benefits I get from them are this city-state will follow me into war. Nice, I can go through their lands. My builders may improve the city-state tiles. Okay, so I can actually go and improve them if I wanted to. That's nice. You see 3 tiles around the city-state. You can pay gold to temporarily take control of the city-state's military. Nice, and I gain all of the... Oh, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting all of their resources. That's where that extra die came from. They're actually giving me that. That's cool. Meanwhile, my archers just continue Operation Sink All the Pirate Ships because they're stupid enough to hang around very close by to the flipping shore. There we are. Got our first one there.
You tread on dangerous waters in the face of England and her loyal colonies.
I literally just took out a pirate ship. Would you rather I didn't? Right, 2nd Legionary is done. We can start amassing forces inside our own borders. No, don't skip over there. Instead, focus on Ravenna for the moment. We need to choose Ravenna's production, because I suspect, yes indeed, the crossbowmen just got a lot faster to recruit. This is not the fastest place to produce troops, but things are certainly a lot faster now than they used to be. If we get ourselves, yeah, range strength of 40 is pretty darn good as a support unit, so I wouldn't mind having one of those right now, and also I can have catapults pretty quickly as well if I ever need to potentially besiege London, though we don't need to rush to that just yet. Let's instead, yeah, let's get a basic unit of crossbowmen going on. That strikes me as fundamentally very, very sensible, even if it's going to take a little bit of time to come together. So, Galileo, as was just mentioned, needs to basically, yes, he does indeed need to basically go and burn himself to death or something next to a mountain. 250 science for every adjacent mountain tile. Well, there's a very good spot for you to do that over here. That's just one mountain, nothing major over there. Yeah, if he goes and stands in our holy district and burns himself to death there, making some form of, I don't know, statement about religion and science, I don't know, then presumably that would get us a ton of free science right there. That, very worth doing. You head over in that direction, my good man, and start heading down towards Ravenna. Apparently that's Galileo right there. You can tell because he's got a conical flask. And, oh, apparently, that's just Baltimore over there, not actually anything else. Right, okay. I assumed that there was actually a city-state over here, but it's not. It's just a line of US cities. Washington, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, Cincinnati. But yeah, some of them, especially Cincinnati, are very, very small indeed. So yeah, we'll just kind of pass by here and try and figure out what else is going on in this part of the world. Well, we've got visibility of Athens, and it would rather appear they have at least partially recovered. They've managed to repair out their city. They founded Knossos. They founded Ephesus. They're very much sticking close to the north of the map, which is good. So they're not really going to be bothering me. They're literally just hanging out up here, causing no trouble whatsoever. So this all works as far as I'm concerned. And we have found ourselves a whole flipping bunch of barbarians here as well. Nothing over here I'd bother coming over here to colonize for, but while I'm passing by, I may as well just kind of shoot you for a bit. Actually, they've got themselves a settler, which would logically mean there's an empire somewhere on this island, because they must have captured that from somewhere. And I'm not sure they have the capacity to build a battering ram either, so they've probably captured that from someone too. So, someone's on this island. We need to find out who. Meanwhile, Cumae apparently needs more amenities. Well, it would have them if someone hadn't flipping stolen the bloody Colosseum from me. I blame everyone else for that. Cumae's at bloody hell. Cumae's at 13 citizens, and as a result, it's actually unhappy. Citizen growth is down, non-food yields are down. Okay, so we actually need to build something to keep Cumae happy, because right now they are genuinely a little bit unimpressed with us. Got it. Well, potentially, we could trade the dies for a new luxury, which would get them back to being neutral, right? Just gotta find someone who's got something we need. Ah, here we flipping go. Victoria has double jade and double wine going on. Right, we need to get hold of some of that. Hang on, let's just see. What have we actually got that's... We've got spare dies. We've got spare dies and spare iron. I feel like we should be able to do a deal with our dies to get hold of that. Plus, actually, does she even have mercury? If she doesn't have mercury, then we can get more mercury very, very quickly. Oh no, she's got mercury already, fine. But, dies for... Cannot accept that deal, fine. Never mind, okay, never mind, hang on. Are you willing to potentially do a deal for wine for dies? Cannot accept that deal either. Okay, you've got spare of that. What do you think is fair? Open borders, 5 gold a turn and 2 gold straight up. No, that's unacceptable. Okay, what if I do your deal where I also throw in, so apparently I can't throw in my spare iron. Maybe I can't throw in something that I technically don't, because it's not mine. I'm controlling Hattusa's dies. So I'm giving away my dies, but I still gain the dies from Hattusa. Instead, Cumae, we're just going to have to build them some new stuff that's a bit more entertaining at some point. Yeah, as soon as the Colossus is done, we'll build them like an entertainment district or something like that. Just keep sprinkling some warriors with some fire as we pass by. Lovely. We found a Norwegian warrior. Nothing you can do to me because that's a warrior that's on like a transport boat, whereas this is a proper quadrireme. So this would easily win any form of fight. Now, get another lumber mill built. Lovely. A 2 and a 1. There's increasingly large amounts of good stuff floating around Aquileia here. And we have discovered Brussels. Wait, are you a city-state or an actual empire? Hang on a minute. We need to know who the heck you are. We've discovered something down here. Hello there. What are you? You are a city-state. Lovely. Let's go and say hello to you nice and quick. Also, you're just bringing a catapult up to America. How worried should I be about your intentions? Also, what are you all about, Brussels? Let's figure out what you're about. So, if I send an envoy over to them, +2 production in the capital when producing wonders, buildings, and districts. Okay, so basically, if you're building stuff, you get extra free production, which is actually kind of worth me doing potentially right now. +2 production every industrial zone, then additional +2 production every industrial zone, fine. Currently being influenced by 2 separate civilizations, and your unique bonus is 15% production towards wonders, together with all of the usuals. Though admittedly, gaining hold of his resources, which include coffee, jade, silver, and horses. I mean, getting hold of jade and silver is kind of worth it straight away, yes. That is kind of tempting. So, I can get myself... I mean, I've got... How many envoys have I got right now? I've got 1 envoy. Well, let's just send an envoy over to them. I mean, that's worth it just for the sake of getting myself, like, +2 production in the capital. Because that will just speed up the production of the Wonder a tiny bit. Yes, he wants me to send him a trade route. Well, admittedly, I'm going to struggle to do that imminently. Because of the whole... Yeah, you just cut through here. Figure out what's going on down here. Presumably there's barbarians down here, because I did just see the Americans fight someone. Ah, and the bottom of the map's down here too. We're not too far off the edge of the world. So presumably America is mainly handling the influence of this situation. So lovely, we have met a representative of Brussels. That's fine, and they have said send a trade route, and Aquileia does not produce enough food. Game, what are you doing up in Aquileia? Hang on, what are you doing? I appreciate the fact that it really, really desperately wants to get that granary done, but no. Yeah, turn off one of them for goodness flipping sake. Let's actually get some flipping farming going on here. Finish that off this turn. In fact, actually, that will be done in one turn anyway. Focus on growth, and with full production of this here lumber mill, I think you're all right for the minute. Ah, and finally, most importantly of all, we send our good friend Galileo here. He's right next to two flipping mountains. So if I burn him right now, that should get me 500 science instantly, which is... how much is that even worth? Hang on, let me figure out how much that actually is. So 500 science is... what am I building right now? That would require 490 science when it's full. And it's done. Actually, you know what? 490 science full and it's only a quarter done. So basically, like, I'm going to burn Galileo for only, like, 350. In that case, our first great scientist, go up into the mountains and never return. Kaboom! And he has disappeared off into the world. Nice. And that has let me access the ocean, so I can go into a much bigger, wider universe all of a sudden. And I tell you what, as we've kind of fallen behind on some of this stuff that we're going to be needing sooner or later, let's very quickly get construction done as well. Apparently that will be done in one turn. We can just clear out construction, military engineering, and then we can get into gunpowder. Musket man, like the sound of that. And straight away... ah, actually, I think the spares science may have gone straight into the next thing, because I built that in 1, and I think it said military engineering was going to be done in 1 as well, but now it's saying 3. So I think the bonus leftover science from burning Galileo was what allowed us to complete construction a lot quicker. So, yes indeed, let's get military engineering done too. Aquileia, meanwhile, can actually get itself its own builder. I feel like we need a builder going on here sooner or later. Because, yeah, there's a lot of improvements that are going to need to be done in this area. Right now, I haven't even brought in the luxuries to the Empire yet. I do wonder, by the way, if Brussels is on the coast, and I would assume it would, well, I hope it extends out to the coast. I'm not sure exactly where the coast is on this bit of the map. I haven't seen it yet. If it does extend out onto the coast, Cumai, potentially, could actually send a trade route via sea to Brussels to get myself a free envoy there. That would be worth having right flipping there. Meanwhile, the quadroon continues its long journey here, and nothing major here yet. Yet I know there must be a civilization. There's something interesting on this little island, and I want to know what it is. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as in fact we have the ocean technology available to us, and thus next time we can potentially, once we've done kind of exploring the outskirts of this island, we can actually send this ship out into the middle of nowhere, trying to figure out what is out there in the world. Oh, and look at that. Now, I believe, yeah, that's the new sailing technology. Now our embarked units can go much further and faster. We can get a new scout onto this island, figure out what's going on here, if it's worth doing anything over here. Maybe our 5th city could be over here. Technically still on the same continent, but on a separate island, which might be a nice thing indeed. As Aquileia continues to grow very nicely, Cumai potentially might be about to start its first little sea trade route over here with Brussels, as we start kind of vying for influence with them. And I remain worried that America and England are about to go to war. And just in case, we've started to draw up the legions in preparation, ready to assault London if it comes to it. So, all of that may be to come very soon, ladies and gentlemen. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Civilization 6. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Eroticism. How important is it to have erotic or love scenes? It's a film about bakery. Very important. Okay, so Ben and Arthur just came on TV. That's Ben, and that's Arthur. Dinner Date's a really good film. Aside from the bit where he eats her, that's arguably not as good.